I've gone over 100 studies on caffeine, and today I will tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly of caffeine. Each study that I refer to will be numbered so that if you want to read them, you can go down in the description, find the number, and read it. Now, I am not a doctor, so take any statement made in the video with a grain of salt. Let's begin. Caffeine can nowadays be found basically everywhere with all the prominent good effects and how addictive it is, with many companies exploiting that fact. Study 58 found that caffeine could be located in tea, energy drinks, and food. But that's not where it all ends. Caffeine could also be found in multi-ingredient pre-workout supplements, up to 200 milligrams of caffeine in coffee, and even chewable caffeine, which funny enough was found to actually increase performance. Now the data is pretty clear on the good stuff, with 40 studies saying that it is great for physical performance with up to 29% increases in physical performance, as well as great for endurance, strength, power, cognition, memory, intelligence, mood, mental alertness, fatigue, and a lot of studies imply that it is great for weight loss by promoting fat metabolization, fat utilization, and fat oxidation. Besides all the physical factors, there are also more interesting parts to caffeine, such that it is a painkiller and can relieve pain as well as combat other sicknesses such as chronic headaches, reduce apnea, combat Alzheimer's, improve asthma for up to 4 hours, and even has an inverse effect on strokes, meaning the more caffeine you take, the less likely you are to have a stroke. All of this showing that caffeine is amazing, right? Well, caffeine is not just sunshines and rainbows. It tends to be safe at lower doses and not every day. However, study 12 found that 99% of Americans consume around 188 milligrams of caffeine every single day without even noticing. And because of how addictive this substance is, this is where the bad effects kick in, such as impacts on heart rate, blood glucose, effects on sleep, higher danger of lethalities in younger people, effects on nutrition intake, loss of fluids, as well as 6 studies with over 8,000 cases on 340,000 individuals, showing that caffeine can increase cardiovascular disease.
Cardiovascular events like heart attacks and strokes are very serious. In fact, every 5 minutes, a Canadian dies from cardiovascular disease, making it the second leading cause of death in Canada. For those who survive, they often have lifelong effects, such as extreme fatigue and brain problems, which can make it difficult to enjoy life or even work.
This sounds a little dangerous, but I'll be fine. Easily overdose on pure caffeine, seizures at 1,200 milligrams of caffeine, convulsion, vomiting, coma at higher doses, interaction with medicine, as well as 3 attempts with 1 succeeding. All of this showing that caffeine has its good sides, however, should not be played with. Now, if you wanted to quit caffeine, there's one last bad thing: withdrawals. And they're very real. If you have been using caffeine for up to 7 days, then you will have no withdrawals. However, if you have been using caffeine every single day for a while, then you're in for a ride. With even as much as 100 milligrams of caffeine every day, your body builds a physical dependence, meaning it will be hard to quit. In the first 24 hours of absence from caffeine, you will notice common withdrawal effects such as headaches, fatigue, decreased energy, and more. At 51 hours after absence of caffeine, the effects will be at their peak, and within 2 to 9 days, they will fully disappear. And if in fact you do decide to quit using every day, this is a great choice because the literature is clear on the body building tolerance to caffeine and the performance benefits lowering if caffeine is used every day. So now you've decided to use caffeine carefully. What's the best dose, you may ask? Well, there's three main points to keep in mind. Use 8 hours before bedtime to not affect sleep. Use around 3 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight max in a day. Meaning if you're 70 kilograms of body weight, your maximum dose will be 420 milligrams of caffeine per day. And lastly, do not use caffeine every single day. Take breaks, take it every other day, but do not take it every day. However, even with these clear rules suggested by the studies, they also clearly define that each individual has a different reaction to caffeine, with 12 studies showing this. And study 80 explaining that the gene CY1A2 and ADORA2A being responsible for this. So while other individuals might get a better effect, you might get a worse one. So with the good, the bad, and the ugly in mind, remember that caffeine is classified as a drug, so use it properly and stay safe.